Hello and welcome to this episode of Kong Builders. My name is Viktor Gamov and I will be your host today. Some of you expected to see Cody, but surprise, surprise. We actually announced that the Cody needs some of the time off to relax after 2 weeks working hard on this live stream. So I will be your host today. And that's hopefully it's not the bummer for many of you. So the weird thing that I don't see how many people right now watching this live. I hope many people watching this live. Let's make some noise in the comments. Like if you're watching this live, write down in the comments where are you coming from. I am coming to you live today from my studio from sunny New Jersey, USA, and I hope to know where you are coming from. So there is a chat in this window. You can type your answers here, and also I don't know, like write down if you're drinking something. Write down what you're drinking. Today I'm not drinking anything, so I'm not I'm not writing down anything. And we'll wait for a couple more seconds. I think it's a good opportunity to go in and talk to your friends and family about this. And maybe someone will also want to join and learn something new today. And we are live. And I'm going live tweet about this. Sweet. Cool. All right, so I see at least 10 people watching this right now. Probably they are either shy or don't want to type anything in this one. Anyway, so we're gonna start. We're in a tight schedule to talk about multiple cool things today. So first and foremost, what this stream will be about. I would like to take the slightly different approach. So the Cody was talking a lot about Kubernetes in the previous things. And I would like to talk a little bit about just like traditional approach for deploying services, managing services, and this is what I'm going to be talking today right now. We'll take this small use case of managing small application, and we'll be showing off this into how you can configure this with Kubernetes, with Konnect to manage this connectivity, how you can configure different Kong plugins through this one. All right, we start getting some of the people in this chat. So I see Patricia join us from San Diego, Sudar from India, Oля, hey, how's it going, from San Francisco. So the people coming from all over the place. That's really great to have everyone's here. Before we jumping into the demo and the presentation, I will spend a few minutes talking about one of the things that we're doing here, and one of the things that we do at Kong. Is we're also running some of the cool events that help you to learn something new and maybe meet someone new and things like that. So one of the cool events that coming this year is event called Destination Automation. So it's an event where you can learn a lot of things specifically about. I'm excited about Kubernetes because I will be talking about Kubernetes here, and couple cool talks. For example, developers don't need Kubernetes. I'm pretty excited about this talk specifically because I think developers do need Kubernetes, and I think it's a little bit of how it's called, clickbaity, because people say no, like I need Kubernetes. Why we would say that? So Viktor Farsic will be talking about this one, and particularly exciting since it's an event about automation and all sorts of things that developers can do to improve their workflows. I'm pretty excited about the talk from Rob Richardson about integrating GitHub Actions in Kubernetes. So GitHub Actions allows you to build your like CI/CD pipeline within your like GitHub repository, within your GitHub infrastructure. And I'm pretty excited to learn how it can be integrated with Kubernetes. So while I am talking about the stuff, also let me know how you hear me, if you hear me well, if you can see me well, or maybe I need to go a little bit louder, a little bit quieter. So let me know also in the comments. I see some of the people already joining more. So do not forget to subscribe and go register for destination automation event. Some people mentioned that they don't know what we're doing here in terms of like live streams. So if you want to learn about new videos or new streams, you need to go to subscribe to the channel and enable notification. So there's a notification set like a customized and all. You need to select all because customized it's kind of a little bit weird. YouTube algorithm will pick up something for you. Like if you don't want to miss anything, just like select all. All right. So let me go briefly through agenda of things what I want to talk to you today. So we're going to start with the with Konnect. And Konnect is a platform that allows to manage connectivity between services. I will set up a connection to Kubernetes because I love Kubernetes. I think essentially everything what I do, I like to do this in Kubernetes just because I already invested so much time to learning these things. So I don't even try to do something else. For example, my friend Michael Heap, he was deploying this demo that we were working a couple of weeks ago. He deploying this just with the FTP something to the service, and after that he wrote a systemd in script, so application will start immediately. No, I'm not doing this. I'm writing application, building image, pushing image, and after that deploying to Kubernetes. So that's what we're going to be doing. So my application will be deployed on Kubernetes. My runtime and my Kong runtime that I will be configuring through Konnect will be also deployed in Kubernetes. There's different options how the people can build and manage runtime. One of the options that I showed in maybe like last week on the video, how we can use Kong ingress controller to do the same thing. So we will talking about Konnect today, but more videos about ingress controller are coming. So next thing that I'll show you how you can do like simple things without any app. So how we can proxy some of the calls to some external service. So we're going to be using this like mock bin service to do like a small proxying things. And so next thing, I will show how you can deploy your application and how you configure this application with different plugins. I will show you how we can do rate limiting and the request validator like without much of the coding, except some of the YAML, if you consider this as a coding. Let me know if this agenda sounds good. Also, I would like to tell you and remind you that this particular show, the live show, also very much inspired by the comments that you make in our YouTube videos. If you want to learn specific things or you have some questions, for example, a friend of mine, Sebastian, he asked some of the questions in the comments from the previous videos, and I start thinking about how I can turn this into some tutorial that some other developers also can use. So do not forget to write the comments and let us know. And if you want to like send something directly to me, you can always reach out to me in Twitter, and I would like to show my Twitter on the screen right now. So that's my Twitter. You can always DM me if you have any questions or suggestions, or you want to, comment on some of the things. Please don't hesitate to reach out. All right. So I am switching back to my computer where I already have my Konnect. So I already have an account in Konnect. You can sign up for free, and you can play around with some of the features that I will show you for free, without credit card, without nothing, for 30 days. You know, there's nothing prevent you from playing around and learning some cool things. And today we're gonna be doing this. So I have a bunch of runtimes. Do not pay attention about this. I did a lot of testing, as you can see. I did a lot of research for this demo. Today we're going to be starting configuring new runtime, and I will be picking up Kubernetes runtime. We do have a code snippets. We do have some of the steps, like a tutorial that you can do. We will walk through all those from scratch. But before I can do this, I need to have a Kubernetes cluster. So my preferable location of my Kubernetes cluster is Google Cloud Platform, and I think I already have a cluster deployed. My cluster is deployed Google. I think it's not super big, 3 nodes. I prefer to have it not super big, but not super tiny. So I have a 3 nodes Kubernetes cluster up and running. So the next thing that we need to do is to deploy our platform, like deploy my Konnect platform. So to do that, we actually have a full-blown documentation that explains this, and I will post the link to this documentation in description in this video. All the links will be posted if you would be interested, or if you're watching this afterwards. So you will be able to find this in description. Now, the couple of things that you need to do to have. You need to have a Helm installed. I already have a Helm installed on my computer. So if I'll just do Helm and version. So I'm using Helm 3, and our Helm charts are also tested with this. We also provide you with the Helm repository, so you add this repository to your local installation, and after that, when you do a repo update, you'll download the index of this repository locally. So you will be able to install these charts. Second thing, in order to this Konnect, we call it a control plane, the things that is controlling different runtimes, controlling different systems. So in order to my control plane to connect to my system or runtime, or how I call it, data plane, we need to establish this connection. So we want to do this securely through open internet. So that's why some of the certificates will be generated. So you can private keys and public keys already here. So I already downloaded this. My computer already have those. So next thing is that in order to my runtime to connect to my data plane, I need to create those things in my Kubernetes cluster. So the way how I can do this, in my documentation, I'm going and see. We need to create two secrets inside your Kubernetes cluster. One secret about Konnect cluster certificate and Konnect cluster certificate authority. So, and the thing is that, like, there's snippets there, you can copy and paste this, but let me go ahead and create those secrets first. So the one that I will be doing this, it's a wrong directory, I'm sorry. So in this case, my files here, so I can do with TLS. So in this case, it will create the secret. Namespace not found. That's very important. Namespace needs to be created. I created a namespace. We'll call it Konnect. And for some reason, I just logged out from the computer. Next thing, I will create the secret inside my here. Create secret a certificate authority. 2 secrets are created. And the next thing is that I just need to grab this values.yaml. In my case, it looks like this. In your case, it might be different because it might be using different URLs for this. Depends on when you're creating this one. I'm using this image of Kong gateway, and this is where I will be installing this. And the way how it looks like, I just do helm install helm, not help. Maybe I need help. I'm installing this new release called my Kong. This is going to be my name of the chart. I'm installing this in namespace Kong and the values from my file. So let's do this. While it is installing, let me quickly take a quick look on some of the comments that we might have. Do not forget to register for destination automation. Oh, my friend Dave Klein here. Dave, thanks so much for joining. You will have a good day today, I promise. All right, so everything is good. Aaron, thanks so much for joining, my friend. From Mountain View, California. Question about the t-shirts. Where you can get t-shirt? This is a good question. I need to get back to this one, Rari, and we'll check how people can get these awesome t-shirts. I guess I received this as my welcome pack when I joined the Kong. So there's another option to get this t-shirt is joining Kong. We're hiring. If you're interested in joining Kong, also DM me in Twitter, and we'll see if you will be interested in some of the positions that we have here. Now, we are getting back to my screen, and now I am going back to this one. So I installed this Helm charts. There's a bunch of warnings because maybe my cluster is running some of the latest and greatest version as always, and in this case, there would be some of the interesting discrepancies. However, the most important thing is that you can get access to Kong, and in order to get access to Kong, we need to get the external IP address. So when we're creating a service with type of load balancer in Google Cloud will provide us external address. So in order to communicate with our application service, we need this address. So in Handy, we're providing this this command. And I'll show you how it looks like if I'll do ingress. So the way how it looks like, it gives me this IP address. And in order to play around with this later, I will just save it in my Insomnia. Where is it, my Insomnia? And thankfully, Insomnia provides me ways how I can manage my environment. So in this case, I can put this inside here, and I can use this proxy IP environment, the variable in my application. So that's what I'm going to be using. So next thing is that I would like to check if I actually have a connection to this runtime. So after I connected everything here, I'm getting back to runtimes, and what I can see here, this is a walking gorilla, walking goose. So that's my guy. So let's see if it's actually my guy. So I'll just do K9S. Oops. So if you are never used this, K9S is awesome tool for doing everything in console, and also being kind of sort of GUI. So it's combination of being hardcore console guy and also being the person who likes to use nice GUI. So that's my pod. My pod is connected right now to my control plane. So now we can cross this off from my list, right? I can cross this off. Extra. I can go ahead here. So we logged into Konnect. We created this runtime in Kubernetes. Now let's configure mock service. So what we're trying to do. So we do have our data plane. Our applications are running somewhere. There's our gateway somewhere. And now we need to manage this gateway from outside world. as a hardcore guy, I can use the Kubernetes, ingress controller and configure this through Kubernetes resources. You can also watch this in my video that I did. But here I want to show you a slightly different approach, approach that will fit in more like a operations plus developers approach. So operations might have a different configuration. They don't want to tinkering with some of the YAML things. So in this case, they will be able to do this. So what we go in here, and I'm going into the service hub, select my services and creating a new service. Service name, let's call it mock service. The version 1.0, mock. That hits mockbin.org. So I'm creating this one. So what I wanted to do, I want to create the service that will be proxying requests to this mockbin through my data plane, through my Konnect, API gateway, and you will understand why later. So in this case, there's nothing here, there's nothing is configured. I just created this one. So I'm creating a new version. Oh, sorry. I already have a version here. I'm going inside here, and I need to add a new implementation. So new implementation, I will just pass the URL. You can also have different protocols configured here. By default, I will be using just a simple HTTP service. Write down in the comments if you want to learn more about, for example, gRPC and how to configure this with gRPC. So my route name, I will call it mock. We'll go through the HTTP protocol, so it's going to be HTTP to HTTP to have it simple. I don't need to configure host. It will go into my Kubernetes external IP. Enter host, enter method. So I'm interested in method get, and I add the path called mock. Rest of the stuff I can configure some other fields, but I'm not gonna this time. So I do have a first implementation. And if I go to this mockbin.org, there's a bunch of cool things that can be that we can submit. But one of the things is this classic full bar buzz. So we're gonna try this one as well. So if I will hit this mockbin through this one, so if I'll just go ahead do this like this, I get some response like this one, right? So now I want to hit the same URL through Konnect. So I can click here. And what is different now? Different is that right now there's some extra headers that my gateway put it here. So like once again, if I will do something like, let me show you here. Just do duplicate. If I'll go and take this one and put it here, get the output of the JSON, and this header doesn't have anything to do with x powered by mockbin, but this request clearly went through router, through my Konnect controller. Now, if I go to this dashboard now, I will be able to see all this like vital information that goes into the system. So I just hit once, and now I see one request went for here. So if I would say, we'll just do a couple times, bim, 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 bim. And I should be able to see all those requests here. So now I'm forwarding, and it will be updated in a few seconds, I hope so. Now this is like simple. So what we went to Konnect UI, we configured service. That configuration was propagated into my data plane that deployed in Kubernetes. I didn't configure anything in Kubernetes, but all of a sudden service that my Konnect gateway service that running inside Kubernetes start understanding this, the mock URL. So we're hitting Kubernetes, we're getting this mock response, and looks good. Let's see multiple calls. Yeah, see that's my DDoS spikes. Next thing is that I want to deploy something useful. By useful, I mean something that I brought. So in this case, it's maybe not super useful for anyone else. However, be my guest. So I wrote the small application that will be throwing some of the random information into the response of the REST. I call it like as a quote service. Also, I quickly showed this quote service in my previous video. Please go watch this if you haven't seen it yet. For this, I will just like deploy this application and I will expect some response. I will show you in a few seconds. So now my applications, I'll just do key apply. I will deploy back to future version. And back to future just deployed. So what I will do here, I'll just create a port forwarding. It's not running yet because application is starting. In a few seconds, it already started. Everything is in cloud and it's not super. Yes. So port forwarding is activated. So if I will go do something simple like HTTP, I'll get the response from the service with some random back to future quote. Now, let me kill this. And I can Control D. Okay, I'll stop this one as well. Now, so my data plane now deployed in Kubernetes. My application is deployed to Kubernetes. So how I can, hit this Kubernetes service? And there's a very handy way to do this in Kubernetes world. So the service discovery thing. So if I go to all services, in this particular case, I'm interested in this one. So I will go ahead and just do, so I'll do key describe service and not Kubernetes. I'm interested in this one. So this service is available for me. It exposes port 8080. So how I can get access this from within Kubernetes? So essentially, I will go through the service. So it's a service name, namespace, and after that, there's some suffix that we need to add. And let's go to my Konnect, and I'm going into my services. I call it back to future, service name, version name 1.1. I will create this. I will go and go this particular version, create the implementation. Now, and the way how it looks like, this is how this URL looks like. So if you will call, I will put this in my snippet here, somewhere here. So the way how it looks like, this is server name, it's a namespace, and after that SVC cluster local, that's default suffix that Kubernetes will expose the service to anyone inside this cluster. So since my controller Kong gateway is running inside this Kubernetes cluster, I will be able to access this without anything specific. So I don't need to configure anything here. So click next and route wait to F. What's the route? I'm doing this. Let me see. Back to future. Okay. Let's call it back to. So method. Also, I want to do get. My path would be and yeah, that's my implementation. Now I should be able to go and hit this one. As you can see here, it also goes through my Konnect ingress controller, and it was immediate. You know, I just click the save here and it's already propagated. So this communication between the Konnect control plane and data plane my Kubernetes is super fast. If I will continue hitting this, see, you know what? Let's do this one. Repeat on interval. Say 5. Okay. Start. And after that, it will start hitting my service. I should be able to see the graph with all these requests immediately. And it's going to be hitting and hitting and hitting and hitting, and you'll see the number of the requests will be growing. So what are we doing in a real life if we want to prevent this type of situation when someone will be hitting our service and hammering the service with the requests and requests? Any ideas, my dear listeners in live chat? What do you think? What we should do here? I hope I still have you here. Anyone? By the way, the link that I mentioned in my previous comment, it's also here. You can find the interested, for those of you who are interested in some of the joining the Konnect, the positions will be here. All right. Yes, yes, yes. We have we have people who actually listening, right? Michael says rate limiting. Yeah, that was my cue. Now, in order to do this, I adding this new plugin here, and we'll go here and say rate limiting. And everything is it's a runtime. You know, everything is happening like happening because my application keep hammering this service. So let's see what I can do. Like we're in a situation where we have a denial of service attack. Oh my God, what are we gonna do? Woo! Okay, now rate limiting. We enable this one plugin. We would say, okay, limit by service. We would say, where's our day, months, path? We're gonna be using this local. I'm not gonna be using Redis, like external service and things like that. How many requests per second we will allow? Let's do this one, like 2 requests per second. And after that, I click create. So what's gonna happen now? My application should stop hammering and start getting maybe it's still doing. Let's do this one. Let's do any plugin. Let's do 1 request per second. Update config. Now we start getting too many requests. So now my service is actually pushing back. My service is pushing back. And as you can see here, in the console, we should be able to see errors. So this is where we're sending back this too many requests. Without restarting application, without restarting the, you know, my small without restarting my small application. What else we can do? What else we can do? So obvious choice is we can provide a something like I don't know, some security thing. Let me talk about this. Okay, so we talk about this. We done this. So we did this request. So request validator. So without going into much of the, you know, security stuff in this particular stream, I think we can add some small feature that's called request validator. That's not would be security per se, more like security by obscurity. So I would expect the request body will include something. So in this case, I'm going in and say validate. Enable validator. So application JSON body schema. I do have a snippet for that. I do have a so let's call it not the secret word, you know, like or magic word. Let's do this one like magic word. And now it will expect that the body will contain this element magic word with type of string, and it will be required. So if this request body will not include this, still hammering, still doing this, I'm going and say, yep, we're creating this one, and after that I submit this. And what will happen here, all of a sudden my application start getting bad requests. Now, so I lock down this particular hacker that tries to hack into my system by providing the special thing that it needs to be doing. So let me stop doing this. So in what it says, request body doesn't conform to schema. Now the schema should be something like magic word. What's the magic word? I'm teaching my kids to know about magic words. And if I will send this, and now my application continue to work. So I can continue repeat after interval. Say now I know I cannot send one request per second. I can start this, and all good. If I want to do more requests, for example, do a repeat after interval, say 1, and after that I will go down into half a second. Still, plugin will help to, configure this the request rates, but still my body will include the correct magic word. And the graph is pretty dope. It will be showing some of the cool stuff. Ooh, 2 mountains. And there's a bunch of plugins that are available to play around without changing application logic, without changing the application service. And as you can see, everything was like in a runtime. Like everything, those plugins were applicable in runtime, and all these things happened. What you just saw. Future to talk more about Kubernetes and Konnect and the different ways how you can configure this. Maybe even something with like DevOps style with the continuous delivery. And I can also apply the same thing to other services. In this particular case, I wanted to show how it can be done on my application. You see this very nice the vitals, you see the traffic, you can see what is going on there. I see how many requests were failed. So that's pretty exciting. We successfully did that today. There's some other things There's some other things, other plugins that you can apply. For example, something with header, like rule by header. So you can even configure routing of your application based on the headers. Some other things. So let me know in. Oh, I'm not showing this one. Let me know in the comments if you will be interested to learn more, or what particular plugin you will be interested to learn more about. So that's I was just quickly checked on my agenda. Wanted to show you quickly what you can do and how you can learn this, and how you can configure all this kind of stuff. As you can see, everything was just online in front of your eyes. You can do this yourself. If you want to try this out, you can find my this small application with Back to the Future quote generator. I will post my notes from this show somewhere, so you will find this. If you're watching this in recording, you will find those notes in the description below. If you want to play around. As always, I wanted to say that you can reach out to me in Twitter. My Twitter will be on screen right in this moment. DM me, send me some request in my Twitter. I would like to say thank everyone who joined me this Friday afternoon. We will continue this show every week, every Friday. We will be talking about all things connectivity, cloud, Kubernetes. My name is Viktor Gamov, and as always, have a nice day.